What's up, Peace Giant fans? Uh, wow, it was an interesting 3 days. Um, First, I'm gonna give a shout out to my Knicks. We up 3-1 on the 76ers. Um, you know, Even though Joel Embiid isn't 100%, we don't have Julius Randle, so you don't make no excuses, man. You just go out there and play. Um, and Jalen Brunson and the crew are balling. So all that talk about Joel Embiid saying the Sixers are the better team. No, no, you're not. No, you're not. So stop it. Let's get over that. Um, I'm tired of the Philadelphia fans whining and crying. I mean, they even crying in basketball now. You know, I'm used to them crying in football, but they even crying in basketball now. It's ridiculous. I can't stand Philadelphia. I mean, hate is a strong word, but I really dislike them. I really dislike the 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 city is okay. The cheesesteaks is all right, but I dislike Philadelphia as a whole. People, city, everything. Um, Putting cheese whiz on cheesesteaks. Come on, man, stop it. Um, Yankees is balling. They're playing pretty good. Um, got a couple of injury concerns, but all in all, they're looking good. Um, but I want to get into this draft, y'all. The NFL draft. Couple of people have hit me up and asked me how I felt about it. Um, I didn't really care for it. Maybe Joe Shane is going to make me a believer, um, but I really didn't care for it. Um, I think we made some questionable picks. I don't think we were aggressive enough. Um, and subsequently, other teams were allowed to use their picks and get better players. When you look at the overall aspect of it and you say what the Giants did, um, Malik Neighbors is going to be a starter. Tyler Nubin is going to be a starter. Uh, um, Andrew Phillips, I don't know if he's going to start right away. He might push Darnay Holmes for the nickel spot. Maybe you'll see him in dime packages because he's an aggressive corner. But I would like to keep him on the inside. He can play the outside, but he's small. He's small framed. Um, then we took Theo Johnson. I like that pick. I don't think he's gonna see a lot of playing time this year though. And then we took Tracy and then the linebacker from UCLA. Um, Me personally, I'm gonna stand by my decision that the Giants should have traded back, um, and then uh, took Roma Dunze, and we could have got an extra third round pick, and then we could have traded that third round pick for a deeper third round pick and a fourth round pick. That way we could have got extra players, bro, because that's what we need. Um, when you say that we also walked out of the draft with Brian Burns, I guess you have to look at it from a positive aspect and say, well, that's a positive. But I just think we could have been a lot more aggressive and a lot more determined in what we wanted. Um, I know the Giants were interested in Jonathan Brooks. He went a pick ahead of when the Giants were picking. So I think that kind of like screwed them up a little bit, and it just changed their strategy. And I think they just said, to hell with it. We're just gonna take best player available on our board at that time. Because they didn't make no moves, bro. They didn't make no moves. I'm happy that they didn't draft a quarterback. I don't care what these analysts and pundits are saying. I'm happy they didn't take a quarterback with the number 6 pick overall. I'm happy that they didn't trade up to go get Drake May. Now, all these people that are talking about Drake May, you do realize the New England Patriots also drafted Joe Milton, right? So, and then I heard people say, oh, well, Joe Milton is going to be a good backup. He's going to be an excellent trade piece if the Patriots decide to trade him and blah, blah, blah. Irrelevant. They also took Joe Milton. Okay? Wasn't I saying that all along? Draft Joe Milton. So the Patriots have all this confidence in Drake May, but they also drafted Joe Milton. Makes you want to think, huh? But I am happy that the Giants, like I said, they didn't take a pick that high. They didn't take a pick with their 6th pick overall. I would have liked them to get a quarterback. You know how I felt about Joe Milton. I felt Joe Milton was the real deal. And I just would have liked to see him in that arm strength in the Meadowlands throwing the ball to Malik Neighbors. I think that would have been a pleasure, bro, to see. But, the Patriots took him. Isaac Garendo, who I also liked, he went high. I just think the Giants weren't aggressive, bro. You can't tell me that Isaac Garendo is not a better prospect than Tracy. Come on, that's silly. You can't tell me that Joe Milton is not a good prospect. That's silly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it is. I just didn't like their level of aggression. I think they were very passive in this draft, which Joe Shane normally isn't. He moves around a little bit. He doesn't move around like Howie Roseman, but he moves around more so than previous Giant regimes. But I just thought we could have did better, overall, I thought we could have did better. And like I said, I really, really strongly like Rome Odunze. You gotta like a player, bro, that isn't satisfied. You know what I mean? Malik Neighbors strikes me as the kind of dude that wants to get his numbers. He wants to get his stats, and rightfully so. But, it troubled me when Malik Neighbors was like, well, they asked him about the Daniel Jones situation, the quarterback situation with the Giants, and he basically said, and I'm paraphrasing, he basically said, well, I would like to think that if they draft a talent like me, they would have somebody that could get me the ball. That disturbed me because I don't think that's something that should be said. It's not like Daniel Jones is throwing the ball underhanded. Daniel Jones did not have time. He did not have no semblance of an offensive line. Evan Neal was a turnstile at right tackle. On Andrew Thomas, he played well, but he was hurt. John Michael Schmitz got hurt going down the stretch. The guard play was horrendous. I mean, stop. They're acting like Daniel Jones can't make throws. And now you have this young, talented wide receiver who is also embracing that same narrative. oh, Daniel Jones is not the quarterback, and he's not the quarterback for the New York Giants. Look, man, I I would like to say, and I would like to go on record and say, I think Daniel Jones is a competent quarterback. I think Daniel Jones, he's not at the point where it's like Sam Darnold and he's seeing ghosts and all of that other nonsense. Daniel Jones is a competent quarterback. Daniel Jones is a tough quarterback. Daniel Jones showed his integrity when he took that beating that he took last season. Literal beating. You know what I mean? So, give Daniel Jones a shot. I know Dan Orlovsky was talking about, Daniel Jones has only thrown 15 touchdowns on the season. Okay. That year that Daniel Jones threw 15 touchdowns, I believe he accounted for 23 touchdowns because I also think he had 7 touchdowns rushing. Well, yeah. No, 22 touchdowns, And if you look at Jalen Hurts that same year when the Giants went to the playoffs, which was 2021 into 2022, Jalen Hurts, I think, accounted for like 30. Okay, he accounted for 30, but Daniel Jones accounted for 22. It's not like, he's a freaking bum. I mean, they talk about Daniel Jones like he's a bum, dog. He's not a bum. He is a competent quarterback. He can make all the requisite throws, and he is an excellent runner. Now, coming off of this injury, what type of quarterback is Daniel Jones going to be? That's the question that needs to be asked. Is he going to bounce back from these injuries, or are they going to linger and lead into more injuries? That's the question that needs to be asked. But, we'll see what happens. Me personally, in a perfect world, I would love the Giants to call the Patriots right now and offer a 4th-round pick for Joe Milton and bring Joe Milton aboard and let him battle it out for Tommy DeVito and ultimately battle it out with Drew Lock and be Daniel Jones' backup. But, that's in a perfect world. So, the Giants walked away with a number 1 wide receiver. They walked away with a starting safety. A lot of people didn't like the Tyler Nubin pick. I loved it. I think Tyler Nubin is going to be a hell of a player. I watch a lot of Big Ten football, being a Michigan fan. And I seen a lot of games with Tyler Nubin. He seems to be a great leader. Guys rally around him. And the thing about Tyler Nubin, I'm not comparing him to Xavier McKinney. I think Xavier McKinney was a heck of a player. But Tyler Nubin plays the ball. He gets turnovers. You know what I mean? That's the thing that Tyler Nubin brings. He will attack that rock. So, whatever the Giants do this season, I'm not expecting much. I'm expecting pretty much the same, maybe 6 to 8 wins. But they're going to be led by their defense, barring injury. They're going to be led by their defense. So now you got to ask yourself, what do the Giants do next season? Do they look at a Shedeur Sanders from Colorado? Do they look at a Drew Aller from Penn State? Do they look at a Quinn Ewers from Texas? I think the Giants' ideal scenario would bring Arch Manning, but Arch Manning can't get into this the 2025 draft. He's eligible for 2026. So, You know, or do they go for Carson Beck from Georgia? Tall, good arm, pocket passer, can run when needs to. So they have options, and you know, maybe they'll go the quarterback route in this coming draft. But for all of those people that are hating and crucifying Daniel Jones, I just want to say to y'all, slow your roll. Just relax, chill. Let's see what this man does with weapons and a decent offensive line in front of him. Now, if he stinks this season, I'll be one of the first people talking about give him his walking papers. But if he comes out and plays well, give him his props, bro. And for all of those haters, oh, Daniel Jones ain't shit and Daniel Jones ain't this, be careful. Be careful. Because Daniel Jones has more playoff wins than a lot of these other quarterbacks out there that y'all are talking about are so great. Okay? Quarterbacks are measured by playoff victories, playoff appearances, victories, and Super Bowls. Okay? Daniel Jones has already checked 2 of those boxes. Playoff appearance, playoff victory. A lot of quarterbacks can't say that, man. So, slow your roll on the hate of Daniel Jones. People see that he's making $40 million and they're like, oh my God, he's not worth it. He's not a Justin Herbert that's throwing 35 touchdowns. Okay, and how many games has Justin Herbert lost by throwing late minute picks in the fourth quarter with bad decision making? Nobody talks about that. You know what I mean? So let's slow your roll on Daniel Jones, man, and let's see what he does. I mean, he's got more weapons now. He's got, well, I'm not going to say he's got more weapons. He's got an additional weapon. Well, yeah, you could say he's got more weapons because Bryce Ford Wheaton is coming off of injury. He's coming back. Malik Neighbors is in the fold now. Jalen Hyatt has a year under his belt now. We got a decent running game, I would like to think. Singletary is also a good pass catcher out of the backfield. Tracy is also a decent running back because he used to be a wide receiver. So, he's got hands and can catch passes out of the backfield. So that's going to probably drop Eric Gray down the depth chart and Gary Brightwell. We got Theo Johnson. I wanted Ben Sinnott, but he went to the Commanders. I was like, damn. But as you see, all of the players I talked about went high. They all went high. So, your boy, he knows a little of what he's talking about. I ain't an expert, but I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. But we'll see what they do. But I'm looking for 6 to 8 wins. We're gonna be led by a defense, like I said, and we'll just see what they do with quarterback. If they do anything at quarterback, Daniel Jones might have a good year, and they might keep him. So. But let's just wait and see before we start throwing out the hate and all of this other stuff. And let's be real fans, and then we'll see where it goes. All right. I hope y'all had a good weekend. Hope y'all enjoyed the draft as well as I did. It was a good experience, and I want to say peace, love. And like, subscribe, and comment if you choose. And I'll get back to you as always, and we'll look for more content next week. All right. Peace out.